You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
It's 1 o'clock. We're in America's Web Radio, the most eclectic mix of conservative shows in America's radio. And this is...
Let's Talk Venezuelan.
It's 1 o'clock. Yes, we're in Atlanta, Georgia, and we are with the legend, David Moxley. And, hello, Brett. Hello. Hola. Hola.
¿Cómo está?
Improving like your Spanish, my friend. Well, during this week, we have the 19th anniversary of the events of the 11th, 12th, and 13th of April in Venezuela. Do you remember when Chavez was ousted for 3 days?
Wait a minute, he was not ousted. He resigned.
He resigned.
So
yes.
he was not ousted.
Yeah, but he was.
It's the same semantic word that they use with the Bolivian president. How you call Evo Morales? That they say that they took him out. No, he resigned.
He resigned.
Both of them resigned.
Yeah.
And then the media is trying to portray like they were ousted out.
Yeah, you are right.
You know, they always change
the narrative.
the narrative. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that he was out of power for 3 days. It was a very heavy crisis that was not resolved by the militaries. At the end of the line, they decide first to put Pedro Estanga in power for only 24 hours because all the people who supposed to be in line for constitutionally, they fled, they hide. And suddenly the president of the Chamber of Commerce was the one who took care of what is going on in Venezuela.
For how long Pedro Estanga was president?
It was a very short time, less than 24 hours.
24 hours?
Yes. It was for a very short time because nobody wanted to take responsibility of the state at that moment. No, the vice president.
Because Chavez was gone.
Everybody fled at that moment. Okay, and
that sounds like a retrieve.
Everyone.
I mean, they caused the problem and they retrieve.
Yes, they retrieve.
So they expose those one who were now with Chavez, and then they put him back Chavez.
But curiously, that event consolidated power, Chavez in power.
So it was a retrieve tactic.
Yes, it was a retrieve tactic. So, where you were at that moment?
That was what year?
2002.
In Venezuela?
No.
Let me see. 2002. No, I wasn't. I was here. I was here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. In 2002. I was waiting for my permanent resident to come up, right? And I was quiet. I didn't have no opinion on politics, internal or external. I was quiet because that was one of the requirements back then. When you are looking for permanent residency and you're waiting for those papers, and then before you become citizen, you're supposed to have your mouth shut. You don't intervene in the internal political arena of United States.
Exactly.
But it's not today like that. A lot of them come here and they had opinions here, opinion over there, and they intervene. They even most of them have even ONG, those organizations promoting socialism, and they're waiting for residency here.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Venezuelans.
Okay. So during all this period of time, you see a lot of individuals that support the Venezuelan regime. One of the most important is the people who financially support the operations of the regime. If you got the financial part of the chain, the link that support financially the regime, well, you have a lot of to gain. One of these individuals, his name is Alex Saab.
This is from today. This Alex is from today.
Yes.
So he supports not Chavez, but he supports Nicolas Maduro regime.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He is one of the covers of Nicolas Maduro. He's one of the people that is subject of interest for the Treasury Department of the United States of America, okay, and during the Trump administration,
okay,
he got into the Interpol list of most wanted.
So if somebody make it to the Interpol list, what are the requirements to get that recognition from the Interpol?
You have to commit crimes established as a crime in every country in the world.
Okay.
Okay, he's not in jail. He's in jail right now, and we will explain how he landed in jail. Okay, and he is asked for extradition from an African country that approved that extradition. The problem is that the policy against the Maduro regime is changing with the new administration.
Of course, Democrats are in charge. The treatment is different.
The treatment is different. So I would like to have the profile of this most wanted criminal for the United States of America and other countries.
And the Interpol list.
Okay, and how is his links with Nicolas Maduro Moros. Okay. His name is Alex Saab. His real name is Alex Naim Saab Moran. Remember that in Latin America we use both last names.
Yes.
He's a Colombian-born businessman of Lebanese descent, mentioned in the Panama Papers. Do you remember the Panama Papers?
The Panama Paper was the one that a lot of people were laundering money.
Exactly.
And it's like the Cayman Island. Instead of the Cayman, is in Panama. You know,
Yeah,
the Panama Paper. All these Venezuelans were going to Panama too.
It was a file that it was in a computer on a lawyer's place, and over there appears the list, not only of everybody who laundered money through Panama. Okay?
A lot of Venezuelans. Okay.
Yes. Who has also been mentioned in journalist investigation for conducting businesses with an estimated amount of 135 million with the Venezuela government. Unlike other Colombian businessmen who had to stop exporting to Venezuela due to uncertainty regarding the payments of and currency controls. Saab's name also appears in the FinCEN files. So there are three different
lists.
Yes.
Okay.
Where he became a subject of interest. As of October 8, 2018, he has been investigated by Colombian authorities for alleged money laundering due to his relationship with the Venezuelan government between 2004 and 2011. During the course of this investigation, his fiscal and accounting reviewer has been arrested and charged by the prosecutor's office in Colombia. During a fuel stop at Cape Verde, Alex Saab was arrested while his way from Iran to Venezuela on a business jet on June 12, 2020. Saab was arrested in accordance to the Interpol Red Notice in relation to his indictment in United States accused of money laundering. Alex Saab is the son of a Lebanese immigrant who settled in the city of Barranquilla and opened various businesses, finding success in Colombia's textile industry. You have to understand that Colombia has one of the largest textile industry in Latin America. They export a lot of fabrics. Okay. Saab began his career in Barranquilla, selling business promotion keychain and subsequently work uniforms. Eventually, Saab was mixing between a group of recognized Colombian businessmen and ended up exporting merchandise to Venezuela using the Cadivi currency system, in which he had free capital mobility. According to a source, during this time, Saab accumulated millionaire debts after the suspension of foreign exchange payment by the Venezuelan government, which in turn alleged that some businessmen in the country had cheated the Cadivi system for a millionaire sum. So now there are two countries at that moment who asked for the. We will return with this profile after these messages.
The disease of addiction is a life-altering challenge, not just for the person suffering its effects, but also for the family and friends who support and love the one caught in its grasp. What should be the course of treatment? Who is the best person to render treatment? And what is the best place to go for the care that is needed? We know that you want answers to these and many more questions. Call 770-696-9862 and speak to a representative of the Atlanta Healing Center. They can tailor a program specifically designed to address the needs of the person suffering with an addiction, or give you guidance as to where that help may be found. Information is the key, and the trained staff at AHC is here to assist. If you wish, you can also get more information on the website located at www.atlantahealingcenter.com.
Whether cruising the strip in a 57 Chevy or taking the family on a vacation in a 71 Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser, you need to tune in to Classic Cars with Steve Ronaldo and Jim Weber every Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. on americaswebradio.com.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the americasbroadcastnetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
Okay, we're with Alex Saab profile. And who's this criminal?
Who's
okay.
this?
They said that a lot of these people cheated the Cadivi system. That is differential, when you import some things from to Venezuela, the government gives you preferential. It's a different preferential exchange from the dollar to the bolivar.
So if the dollar in Venezuela, let's say during Cadivi time, cost 2,000 bolivares for a regular person, for this guy, how much he would be paying?
Could be half of that, or 500
bolivares.
Yeah.
Man, that's a preferential treatment.
Yes, a lot. Many bolichicos became millionaire in that time.
Oh,
okay? Because there is a link, a connection between what happens at that time and how is the economy is moving in Venezuela right now. Basically, it's the same players. Okay. Saab was not accused of such fraud. Univision mentioned that his journalist Gerardo Reyes was sued by this businessman following his publications that he was involved in Cadivi. Okay, he didn't say that he was involved directly in the fraud, but he was using the Cadivi system. Okay, it was.
That's a semantic.
That's a semantic.
Yeah, Saab was also enriched due to material suppliers business of the housing mission in Venezuela. Ooh, that was when they used to build those little houses for the poor people and give them free. And at the end, those houses were cracking and they were falling in pieces.
Yes,
he couldn't. I mean, they finished the houses, but the foundation was not good. The structure wasn't good. 2 years later, after the people was living in the house, started cracking down and falling.
They use, for example, sheetrock to cover the exterior of a building. So after 2 years with the rain, the sheetrock took water and exploded. You know.
I remember seeing some apartments, falling.
Yes. Apartments.
Okay.
Yeah,
so they build those
apartment buildings. Yeah.
Yeah. So on November 28th, 2011, the Colombian-Venezuela Agreement of Global Construction Fund was signed, whose legal representative was Saab. So Saab from Colombia and Venezuela.
Yes.
Which resulted in a contract of $685 million for the construction of prefabricated homes in Venezuela.
Yep.
Those are the one that I was talking to you.
Yes.
While the organization was being investigated by the Ecuadorian government for alleged money laundering, thousands exports through false exports to Venezuela. The event was attended by President Juan Manuel Santos and Hugo Chavez.
Yep.
As was the foreign minister Nicolás Maduro. He attended to that too.
Yes.
Sub lawyers Abelardo de la Espriella assured the W Radio at the time that the headquarters of the Global Construction Fund in Ecuador had no connection with the Colombian businessmen. Let's talk about investigation. Saab has sold food to Venezuela for more than $200 million in negotiations signed by President Nicolás Maduro. This is present. Through a registered company in Hong Kong and China. On the 23 August 2017, the Venezuelan Attorney General Luisa Ortega Diaz names Alex Saab as the owner of the Mexican firm group Grand Limited. 26, along with Colombian businessmen Álvaro Pulido and Rodolfo Reyes, presumably President Nicolás Maduro, and dedicated to sell food to the club. Bingo!
Oh, so you have now you have this Cadivi thing, the housing, and the food, and the food. Okay. And all that things overpriced, okay, and especially money laundering.
because there is a monopoly. That's when things like that happening when it's a monopoly. You put the price, whatever price, and they have to pay for it because there is no other way for competition
Exactly.
to supply. So the food was coming from Mexico.
You have to read the rest of the thing because it's
Saab
very.
would have met Alvaro Pulido in 2012 when he was dedicated to supplying the Saab company, but this activity would have stopped doing in the 2014. So basically, 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
Censorship. On September 11, 2018, the National Commission of Telecommunication, CONATEL, of Venezuela, banned the publication of information about Alex Saab. Now the communication system is being censored. You cannot be talking about this man.
This man.
Okay?
You
so
cannot
this man
talk
has
about.
a monopoly on.
You cannot talk about this man
For nothing. Yeah.
For about nothing.
So this guy has a monopoly on the food supply. He got monopoly in the housing supply. He got monopoly in the texture supply.
Yes.
He's the main. He's more powerful than the president.
Almost.
Yes.
Almost.
Okay. This CONATEL banned the publication of information about Alex Saab to the journalists of the Armando.info web portal, who have published research papers in which they point to Saab as an alleged member of acts of corruption that would exist around the business and distribution of Food Club. In the document that is addressed to the journalist Robert Diniz and signed by the General Director of CONATEL, Vianney Miguel Rojas, prohibits citizens Robert Diniz, Machin Jose Politscu, igual Carlos Chanfender, and Alfredo Jose Mesa publish and disseminate through the digital media specific on the site of Armando Info, mentioned that go against the honor and reputation of citizen Alex Naim Saab until the end of the present process in the case that is being pursued against the aforementioned citizens. The ban was denounced by the Venezuela National Press Workers Union, SNTP. Since the publication or report of Alex Saab, the Armando Info site has suffered massive cyber attack. Of course, warning that the ban of mentioning the entrepreneur in successive research work increases the threat. Robert Diniz rejected the measure, recalling that after the publication, the journalistic team had previously been treated via Twitter. They were banned from leaving the country on the 11th court in Caracas, and now they are forbidden to continue Saab investigation. So the media out because they don't. They supposed to not talking anything about Saab. Anything.
Nothing.
Okay, denouncing that according to the logic of the judge of taking Alex Saab's lawsuit against journalists from. So Alex Saab is suing the journalists.
Yeah.
Because they're
saying something is wrong here.
Yeah.
Remember.
Doesn't remind you that what's going on here with the Hunter and Biden?
Yes, it's exactly the same tactic.
The same. Go ahead.
Okay. So they said that Alex Saab's honor and reputation are above the possibility that Venezuela know the business behind of club. Remember, club is the boxes that the government is giving people.
Let me explain a little bit more what is a club. Club is, I call my family, I still have families in Venezuela. They receive club, okay? Those people.
Once a month.
Once a month. It's a box filled up with some food, but it's not perishable food. It's like rice, sugar, oil, beans, okay? Most of those food inside the box are not even good. For example, the rice comes sometimes with some, ¿cómo se llama? Gorgojos? Some
animals.
Some, little living animals in the rice, and so on.
That's protein.
With the that's not protein. So
isn't it, David?
That's not protein.
It's a protein, no?
No, it's not protein. So so they charging they are buying this food from Mexico. You know, probably.
Here I will explain that. The 4 journalists were sued by Saab for continuous aggravated defamation and slander, aggravated in Caracas. On September 8, 2018, one of the Saab's lawyers filed a complaint with the prosecution for attempt extortion of part of an alleged public official who is providing confidential information about investigative proceedings against Saab family using WhatsApp and Telegram message in exchange for some economic or labor purpose. On October 12, Eddie Andres Pinto, a patron of the DGIN, who served as an interception analyst, accepted the extortion charges that were imputed to him. According to the complaint in the audios and WhatsApp capture provided therein, Pinto requests COP 500 million in exchange for erasing all the information that existed on behalf of Saab. Listen, WhatsApp supposed to be an encrypted system, okay? And this guy broke that code, the encryption, and intercept what Saab did in WhatsApp and Telegram. That's why I am not, okay?
Finally, something is good and working for us.
Yes.
Breaking the
but,
code.
But you know that no WhatsApp nor Telegram are what they said, what they say.
They promise
yes.
they are.
Okay. Also stating that there was nothing that compromised the businessman or his family, but that they are going to be captured as a measure of pressure. So you know now the businessman who make business with Venezuelan government is under the investigation of the Venezuelan government also. So now you have United States, Colombia, and Venezuela looking for this guy. We will explain the criminal charges after these messages.
Hi, this is Rocky Blair, former 4-time Super Bowl champion with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Vietnam veteran. As a board member, I'd like to talk to you about Warriors to Citizen, a nonprofit organization that helps American heroes, soldiers, police, fire, EMT, and their families recover from the psychological harm caused by career-induced stress. Over the last 20 years, broken relationships have been a major causal factor for the highest documented divorce rate and resulting suicides in this population. This program, From Warriors to Citizen, is delivered free to families by professionals, all whom served in uniform and understand the needs to be addressed. I ask for your support, so please go to our website, warriorstocitizen.org, and find out how you can help, either by making a donation or sharing this information with an American hero that you may know. And thank you.
Whether cruising the strip in a 57 Chevy or taking the family on a vacation in a 71 Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser, you need to tune in to Classic Cars with Steve Ronaldo and Jim Weber every Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. on americaswebradio.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, join me, Roger B., every Tuesday at 1400 hours right here on America's Web Radio for the Locked and Loaded Show. We will talk about guns, weapons, ammo, gun accessories, prepping, and so much more. So be sure to join us every Tuesday at 1400 or 2 p.m. for Locked and Loaded on America's Web Radio.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, let me read it. what is the Panama paper? The Panama paper contains, the document contains personal financial information about wealthy individuals and public officials that had previously been kept private. While offshore business entities are legal, okay, they are legal. Reporters found that some of the Mossack Fonseca shell corporation were used for illegal purposes, including fraud, tax evasion, and evading international sanctions.
Mossack Fonseca was the lawyer firm in Panama.
Exactly. So, laundering.
Money laundering.
All this is laundering. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, criminal charges. Why the United States is prosecuting this guy?
That's my question.
On May 8th, 2019, the Colombian Prosecutor Office charged Saab with crime of money laundering, a concern to commit crimes, illicit enrichment, exports and fictitious imports, and aggravated fraud from events related to his Chantex company. Since September 2018, he is considered a fugitive in Colombia for failing to attend any judicial proceeding, even with a firm arrest warrant. On July 25, 2018, the U.S. Attorney's Office of the Southern District of Florida charged Saab and another Colombian businessman with money laundering related to a 2011-2015 scheme to pay bribes to take advantage of Venezuela's government set exchange rate.
Why in Florida? Why that was taken in Florida? He was living in Florida at one point?
No, because when the Southern District is a federal court that is related of anything that has to do with money laundering that affect the United States of America. Remember, who's the owner of dollars?
America.
So any criminal involvement with U.S. dollars implies that they are breaking the American law, no matter where
they are located.
Yes.
Okay.
So
the sanctions. On 25th July 2019, the United States of Treasury imposed sanctions on 10 people and 13 companies from Colombia, Hong Kong, China, Mexico, Panama, Turkey, the United Arab Emirates, and the USA. Ooh. In a Venezuela food subsidiary club called CLAP, which includes Nicolas Maduro's stepsons and Saab himself. According to the statement of the Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin, the corruption network that operates the CLAP program has allowed Maduro and his family members to steal from the Venezuelan people. They use food as a form of social control to reward politician supporters, and punish opponents. So if the opponents, they don't give them food.
No,
so
exactly.
Starving.
Yes.
Okay. All the while pocketing hundreds of millions of dollars through a number of fraudulent schemes. The Maduro government rejected sanctions, calling it a sign of desperation by the Gringo Empire. Maduro said imperialists prepare for more defeat because the club in Venezuela will continue. No one takes the club away from the people. A communique from the Venezuela Foreign Ministry denounces the repeated practice of economic terrorism by the U.S. government against the Venezuelan people, announcing measurement whose criminal purposes is to deprive all Venezuelans on the rights to food.
The thing is,
we always are to blame.
The thing is that this guy already is considered a white-collar criminal. Okay? That's his reputation in Venezuela, in Colombia, in the United States. But here's the interesting thing. During a fuel stop at Cape Verde, that's in Africa, it's an island, Alex Saab was arrested while in his way from Iran to Venezuela.
Wait a minute. So he escaped from Colombia without warning. He left and he was traveling all countries.
Oh, yeah.
Like free, like a free bird?
Especially he is the one who has deep relations. He's the link between the Venezuelan government and the Iran government.
The Iran, okay.
Because remember, this guy, he is capable to speak Arabic.
Arabic,
Okay?
So
remember, his family was from Lebanon.
Okay.
Okay? On a business jet on June 12, 2020. Saab was arrested in accordance to an Interpol red notice.
That was last year.
In relation to his indictment to the United States, accused of money laundering. Remember, money laundering is always creates a way to clean dirt money
Dirty
into
money.
legit sources.
Yeah,
Okay,
legit.
that's what he was doing during more than 20 years. Okay, and this is related to
More than 20 years.
Yeah, and remember that this is related also with drug cartels. Remember that one of the main incomes of the Venezuelan government is drugs, is coke delivering to Europe.
So for 20 years.
For 20 years.
So the Obama administration knew about this.
Absolutely.
And Trump administration too.
Yes, but Trump administration did the correct thing, accusing this guy. And let's talk about what is the involvement of the Venezuelan government right now in this. Shortly after his detention, 2 days after of his detention on June 14th, Venezuela Foreign Affairs Minister tweeted in support of Alex Saab, labeling his arrest as arbitrary and illegal. Journalist Robert Diniz expressed surprise by the declaration, saying that after years denying or ignoring with Alex Saab, the government now called him a government agent and a Venezuela citizen.
So he became an American citizen?
Venezuelan citizen.
Venezuelan citizen?
Yes. On July 22nd, 2020, Baltasar Garzón said that he would represent Alex Saab in the extradition case. Remember, Baltasar Garzón was the judge that extradited Augusto Pinochet. Okay, that put Augusto Pinochet in jail while he was in London.
Ese Garzón from
Spain.
From Spain?
He was at that time. He was a judge in Spain, and when Pinochet went to England under health treatment, he made Pinochet to be arrested in Chile. Okay,
and
he
what
said
is doing Garzón doing por
now he wants to be he
wants to defend.
He wants to defend Alex Saab.
So
you see a communist
the
lawyer
communist,
behind all this stuff. Okay.
Yes.
On August 25th, 2020, the Attorney General of Cape Verde opened an investigation into two men who posed as representatives of Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro in favor of Alex Saab. On August 28, 2020, Saab's lawyer stated that he was on a mission to Iran as a special envoy of Maduro to negotiate fuel and humanitarian supplies at the time of his arrest.
So he was getting ready to put his hands in the humanitarian help too.
No, and the fuel.
But that's what I'm saying. He was ready to take his hand on that too.
On that too.
So in every opportunity that he has in Venezuela to put his hand and make money out of it, he was going to be the leader of that specific program.
Yes. Now, on November 30th, 2020, last year, November 30.
After the elections.
After the election.
After America's election.
The Economic Community of West African States Court of Justice ordered Cape Verde to grant house arrest to Alex Saab. On December 15th, the Cape Verde Court of Appeals ruled to refuse the decision, arguing that ECOWAS court lacks of the jurisdiction to force Cape Verde to take that decision. The people of the Economic Community of West African State Court of Justice was pressure the Cape Verde government to take Alex Saab and to root him in Cape Verde, not to extradite it.
So they are moving their threads.
Yes, they are moving their threads.
Yeah.
Okay. On December 29th, last year,
Let me read it.
Nicolás Maduro appointed Alex Saab as ambassador.
To the African Union, the same one who were saying no, he's gonna stay there.
Yes.
Seeking to send Saab to Ethiopia and to prevent his extradition. On January 5th,
This year.
the Cape Verde Court of Appeals ruled in favor of Alex Saab extradition. On the 21st of January, authority of Cabo Verde announced that his transfer to house arrest was approved. Experts consulted by Voice of America declared that after that decision, the risk of his escape increased exponentially.
Of course.
Yeah, because if he's in the house, he's going to escape.
Yeah.
In February 2021, this year, Venezuelan government organized a concert in support of Alex Saab and asking for his release. A concert. Two ruling party deputies visiting Nigeria's embassy in Venezuela, also asking for his liberation. Saab's wife, Italian model Camilla Fabri, moved to Moscow with her family. Oh. So Russia is behind this too.
Yes.
On February 22nd, 2021, the United States District Court for the Southern District of Florida denied a request cancel Saab extradition request to the USA. An intelligence report that the Financial Times has access to analyze more than 500,000 Twitter posts related to Alex Saab and concluded the Nicolás Maduro administration and or its proxies are involved in a coordinated campaign to influence both the government of Cabo Verde and Cape Verde and its population to obstruct Alex Saab extradition. On March 15, 2021, the ECOWAS court ruled against Saab extradition, asking for his immediate release. On March 17, Cape Verde Supreme Tribunal approved Saab extradition request.
Okay. Now, one of the last thing that the Trump administration did was to send ships over Cape Verde to prevent Saab's fleeing.
To escape.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
because
as
he
you-
escaped from Colombia, now he can escape from...
So, and the situation is still on. There are American ships off the territorial waters of Cape Verde.
Cape Verde.
Okay, and they have waiting just the order to bring.
From the administration.
Yes. The thing is that under this administration,
It won't happen.
it is not that it would happen, because the extradition is approved on March 15, 2021, just a month ago. And this is a very dangerous criminal. Okay?
And it was approved on the Biden administration.
No. On the Biden administration,
That's what I'm saying.
but this is an order from the Supreme Court of the Cape Verde Republic to extradite this guy. The only thing that we need to do is bring another plane, a C-130, and bring this criminal over. And the United States, under the Biden's administration, did nothing about this.
I don't think they're gonna do nothing. I don't
Yeah,
think they're
but
gonna do
this
anything.
is illegal. But this is,
They, Carlos, I understand what you're saying. This is a legal matter, but we are being ruled by unlawful people.
yes.
Even Biden sitting in that chair, living in that house, he is not legal. He is an usurper.
Yes.
So how do you expect somebody who doesn't follow the? I mean, they are unlawful people. They're gonna put the law on somebody else.
So this is the kind of people
This is the
who's ruling the world right now.
Right now, exactly.
Okay.
And Venezuela is all in the center of the hurricane.
It's the eye of the hurricane.
Yeah, it's
yes,
the eye
in
of the hurricane.
In some way, yes, because if you have the extradition request, okay, this is not a matter of policies. This is a matter of law.
Of law.
Okay.
The question now is, are they gonna execute the law, or are they just gonna let him go? Like every Democrat administration do. Look how Obama helped out Chavez and all these people to get this kind of power. Look at this now.
Yes.
Okay, and now the Biden administration will allow that too, because that's their agenda.
And if they know there is some morality things that says, okay, if you are doing this against this guy, you cannot be have any kind of leniency if you are in disgrace, because unfortunately these kind of people is the one who is ruling the world right
This
now.
type, right
Okay,
now it's unlawful people.
You just changed the name of Alex Saab and put Hunter Biden, and it's the same kind of
Well,
people.
what about Bill Gates? Everything is reversing now with the vaccine, okay? With the vaccine now. For example, Venezuela is taking advantage of the crisis, of the virus crisis, to defroze, to take funds that are frozen in America to pay for the vaccines that are going to be used in Venezuela. Okay?
The thing is that is not a vaccine. That's a treatment.
Yeah, but
And they're selling us that injection like a vaccine, and it's not a vaccine. It's
No,
a
it's
treatment.
Not. It's a treatment. So the semantic war, how they like I was saying from the beginning, they just change some little words and they make it look like it is. It's not a vaccine. Okay. For example, here I'm reading the news. Okay. It says that Venezuela is gonna produce vaccine for Cuba, but they want America to give them money so they can have the vaccine in Venezuela. So explain me how that works.
It's money laundering.
It's money laundering. Even the pandemic is being used to money laundering.
The pandemic.
The pandemic, exactly.
Yes.
The pandemic. Okay. So, having this guy locked up
Mm-hmm.
in his house in Cape Verde, America send him over here, but over there the African region say no.
Yeah, but the local court
Uh-huh.
of Cape Verde
Uh-huh.
approved the extradition. So he is in a legal limbo. Why?
Uh-huh.
Because right now the duty of the United States of America is bring a plane or bring a boat or bring a submarine or whatever, okay, and bring that criminal over here. Okay, and that order is after a month. It's not.
It's not being performed.
No. Do you remember? Do you remember what happened with Manuel Antonio Noriega? That they've been grabbed immediately and put in a plane and brought over here.
I am not from those years.
Okay. Do you remember the face of Manuel Noriega when he was captured in Panama and brought over here with a DEA plane?
How many days do they wait to do that?
After he said, "I give up," less than 6 hours he was in Miami.
Wow, how American Sister changed, right? How everything changed.
Yes.
How many years he's doing? 1 year and something. He's been in Cape. Cape Verde.
Yes, he was arrested on June 2019.
19. Okay.
Okay, so
he's gonna be 2 years in June this year.
Yes, and the thing is, I don't know if it appears here. No, but the investigation of this guy from the Switzerland government, from the Swiss government.
Swiss, okay.
Yes, it says that in Switzerland there are almost 22 or 25, I didn't remember the number exactly, accounts of this guy Alex Saab, and the smallest amount
in one account.
In those accounts, the smallest account is $234 million.
25 accounts.
Yes.
With, let's say, 20 what?
$230
million in each account minimum.
Each account minimum.
So
now they have also the Swiss government in his back, because this implies
wait. That money is not coming from production from Venezuela, because Venezuela is not producing anything.
That this is explaining that he is taking that money
from somewhere.
From somebody. Okay, he's using his name to open these accounts.
Okay.
But that money doesn't belong to him.
Yeah, but how he back it up? For example, when I came from Guyana, the last time I went to Guyana, and I came here and I brought cash money in my hand, I have to back it up with something.
Switzerland do not have
require
that.
I want to go live in Switzerland.
even the until 5 years ago, all the Swiss accounts were just numbers. You cannot know who is the owner of those accounts. That's changed. The Swiss laws on banking changed because individuals such as this criminal. Okay?
It's the same thing that the guy with the NTI, how do you call it? With Chavez.
This guy, exactly.
What is his name? In Miami. He's in jail now.
Yes.
He got money for,
Yeah,
Chavez money in.
He's just the face of the money of politicians, Maduro or who knows who else. He's taking that money and putting in these accounts in Switzerland. So you have United States, you have Colombia, you have Venezuela, you have Hong Kong, and you have Switzerland behind his.
Russia, because his family moved to Russia.
Yes.
You have Spain, because the lawyer is in Spain. And you have the African countries.
And he's also a
him.
Venezuelan and Antiguan citizen. So he shares Antiguan, Venezuelan, and Colombian citizenship. What implies that even Antigua could charge him also.
And Antigua belongs to Great Britain, right?
Yes, it's part of the Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth. Okay. Oh, talking about the Commonwealth.
So you know what this implies.
Yeah, that explains why WhatsApp is trending with his name.
Yes.
Yeah, all Venezuelans are talking about who is he, what he was doing, what he did, and what he's still doing, and where he is, and what would be his future.
Remember that for the last 20 years, the most.
But I think he is one of the distractions, because nobody's talking about Gabriela Chavez, who is another one. Nobody's talking about the other people.
If you multiply 22 times 230 million, Gabriela Chavez is just a penny in the pocket compared with this guy. This guy, we're talking about billions and billions of dollars. Okay, this
in Europe.
This guy is worse than Bernie, the guy who passed. Bernie, the one who passed away yesterday. Madoff. Okay.
He's worse the same way as Madoff?
Oh yes.
But he just
$230 million minimum on each account times 22. He is the guy who broke Venezuela.
He's the one. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Well, this is the end of this program. I think. Yes. To a minute. Do you want to say something?
Man, I'm speechless. I'm speechless because I thought that was another Gabriela, another no. Okay, we will continue talking about this next week, right? We can investigate a little bit more.
Oh, yes.
Because we are about to leave. Bye. Bye.